Hi everyone, this is Krista Does Numbers. I'm Krista. I am a California certified CPA, so I am in the state of California only. So I am a CPA, I'm not your CPA. So if you ever have any questions or comments or concerns, you can always email me, KristaDoesNumbers@gmail.com, or talk to your personal tax advisor. So with me today, I have Jamie Monroe with Easy Day Sports. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for being here today with me. Sorry about that little noise there. All right. So I brought Jamie on. He is, well, Jamie, why don't you tell me what you do instead of me doing it because I'll screw it up.
Oh, sure. So small business, but in sporting events, running events mostly, doing event production. So anything from a half marathon to a triathlon, a 5K. Our company does all of the event planning and the production, the marketing, the customer service, the operations, the logistics, permits. So when you sign up for a 5K, your local 5K, on a Sunday morning, the company that puts it on is a company like ours.
Right. Cool. So obviously, with this current worldwide pandemic that we're in and our stay-at-home order, we aren't allowed to be in gatherings of like thousands anymore, like usual. So how have you adjusted your business model to still put on events?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been quite a challenge. I mean, I think one of the advantages that we've always had is that when you're putting on an event, you get to be as creative as you want to be. If we decide that we want to change a 5K course and go down a certain street versus the other because it's prettier, we have the flexibility to do that. So I think my perspective on this crisis has been, okay, how do I do something different? How do I be creative about it, and keep things going and keep it positive? So we saw this coming earlier than most businesses because we were producing an event called the Carlsbad 5000, and that's known as the world's fastest 5K. It was supposed to happen middle of March in Carlsbad. It's held multiple world records for fastest runners. It has about 9,000 participants. And so we had been in contact with the county of San Diego often leading up to it. And quite frankly, the city of Carlsbad, it was a huge revenue generator for them, was very interested in making sure that the event happened. So we contacted them back and forth. And then it was really about probably 10 days before the event when we had to cancel. I mean, the weekend prior, the LA Marathon had just happened. They were probably the last largest event in the country to happen before things got shut down. And we knew it may be close depending on what happened. But because of that, and because events take planning, it's not like they cancel an event that you're holding tomorrow. They have to let you know so far in advance. Just like if I'm going to produce an event, I need 6 months lead time.
Right.
I felt like I was thinking earlier and often about, okay, well, what does the next 6 months mean if we're not allowed to have gatherings of larger than 10 people?
Right.
So that's kind of where it started.
Okay. And so what is it that, like, what adjustments and what shifts did you make? I mean, because you still doing events.
Yeah, so sort of the Monday after when everything was really shut down and it was, California instituted the stay at home, we were looking at, okay, so what do we do next? And we have a great relationship with Kaiser Permanente. They're the title sponsor of a half marathon that we do in the fall. And at the time, like, there was no indication that fall events were going to be affected. But he's also one of the heads of the PR department over at Kaiser, and his talk to me was basically, we're in a position now where even if we spend money marketing a race in the fall or are talking about this race that we're going to put on in the fall for a couple thousand people, it's going to fall on deaf ears. People aren't really thinking about signing up for any mass participatory event, even if it is 6 months away.
Right.
And so I was like, wow, like not only can we not put on an event, we can't even talk about the events that we want to put on 6 months from now. So what do we do? So I sat on it for a couple of days, and then I called him back and I said, you know what? I've got this idea. People really want to run. Why don't we do a 6-week series of events where every week, so that it's not too hard, we're not creating this mass training plan. You commit to running 3 miles on week 1 and then maybe 4 miles on week 2, and you have the whole week to get the workout in, to get that in. So we brainstormed about it, and at the time, like, social distancing was kind of a newer buzzword. Now it's used in like everyday lingo, but we called it the Social Distance Run Series, and for us, it had some sort of creative moxie to it because of the word distance, and people are trying to run distances every day. And we put a cool little saying on the back of the t-shirt that said "Keep your distance," which had sort of a dual meaning, which was like, run, stay in shape, keep your distance, and then also like kind of stay away from people. So it was a big hit. We were really surprised. We had talked to Kaiser. We said basically the idea is if everyone participates all 6 weeks, we'll send them a free medal. But in order for Easy Day Sports to send them a free medal, I need your sponsorship to help afford the cost because we're not charging them an entry fee for this. And then we did some unique things like partner with Make-A-Wish San Diego, which is our official charity for our half marathon in the fall. And a lot of it was about, here's a creative way where we're not really talking about the half marathon we're going to do in October, but we are talking about the same title sponsor, the same charity, and we're talking about running, which was especially relevant as I came to find out because it was one of the few things that you were still allowed to do. So we were excited. Initially, we thought a few hundred people would sign up for it. We've had over 4,700 people in San Diego sign up for our 6-week series. We've had over 12,000 results submissions. So that means like after they go every week and run their time, they go take a picture and they upload their time to be ranked. So over 12,000 results submissions. And when it's all said and done, we're going to be mailing out a few thousand medals to people around San Diego that had a schedule once a week to go for a run for 6 weeks. And it's been quite impactful, more impactful than I ever thought it could be.
That's so awesome. And you have the medal there. Would you like to show it for everyone?
Yeah, these just came in today. Looks like it's backwards, but it's fun. Social Distance Run Series, San Diego feel. The back of it, it's got the sort of the hashtag keep your distance, Easy Day Sports, and presented by Kaiser. So the medal for people is sort of the carrot. Not everyone's going to win a race, but like if you can finish a race and show that you were committed to something and you received it, we've found it's been a big success. And I think the hardest thing that I've had to adjust for, like just in my business, is that not everyone's an elite athlete. Everyone really does things for different reasons, and most of the people are more personal, goal-oriented, goal-motivated, and so we've really tried to meet everyone in the middle and create these experiences that are for the like everyday athlete, and so that's kind of been our focus.
So Jamie also mentioned that there were emails that were going out like on a weekly basis, some from Kaiser or can
the emails come from us. Yep. So we've been putting on events for 6 years in San Diego, so we have a pretty large database of people interested in running events. And the email is a newsletter. It goes out to all of the different runners that want to participate, and it includes like a health tip from Kaiser Permanente, a call to action to donate to Make-A-Wish, and some of our other sponsors. But it's really sort of like, here's what you're running, here's how you're going to stay fit and in shape. And then it really aligns with Kaiser Permanente's Thrive messaging, which is, being well, living healthy, all those sorts of traits. So, so we do send out a weekly newsletter, and then we also list the top leaders every week.
Oh, nice. Okay, that was cool. But also in doing all of this, there was a zoo you mentioned in Palm Springs.
Yeah, so in Palm Desert, it's the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. One of our runners was the conservation director at the Living Desert Zoo, and he called me up and said, listen, our zoo is closed. We have this 7-week series where every week we focus on a different animal. One was the desert tortoise, one's the giraffe. The zoo's famous for all the cheetahs that they have. And
Mhm.
so he sort of piggybacked off of our idea and said, what if we do a 7-week running series where each week it's a different animal that aligns with our conservation message that we would have done for all the patrons that are attending the zoo. And zoos still aren't open in California. So in parallel with our social distance run series, which is definitely more run focused, fitness
Right.
focused, we've got this sort of sideline series that's going on in parallel that's sent out every week to the people that would be attending the zoo that are on their mailing list. They're encouraged to run or walk because zoo patrons aren't necessarily
Right.
the athlete types. But then they learn a little bit about the animals, and it's been really, that's been kind of an eye opener and a great way for us to build our business, and something I didn't think we'd do.
Yeah. That's yeah, exactly. It's the possibilities really, even though it is virtual. So, oh, and then also you did you usually have an event. Was it the draft, the for the football,
Yeah,
the Dallas
so
Cowboys?
yeah, a large part of our business, we work with 3 to 4 NFL teams every year, putting on a fan-focused 5K run that sort of gets them excited about the season or whatever's going on. And annually, we've been putting on an event on Saturday of the NFL draft in Dallas for all their fans, where fans can come out and meet the new draft picks, the cheerleaders, the mascot, run a 5K around the facility. So it's been a really staple of sort of our spring business. And that event obviously got canceled as well. But what was unique about it is the NFL early on made a decision, well, we're not going to cancel the draft. We're going to hold everything virtually. And,
Okay.
and we had already started with our virtual run here in San Diego. So we showed them what we were doing. They were ecstatic about it. They also had a hospital partner with Baylor Scott and White locally. And the
Okay.
difference was, instead of doing a 6-week series, we were going to ask people to go out and run on one day, April 25th, while the draft, sort of that draft weekend.
Right.
And it was a huge success. I think we had over 11,000 runners from
Oh wow.
all over the world. We thought it was going to be just Dallas Cowboys fans in Dallas, and then
Apparently, there's Dallas Cowboys fans all over the world.
oh,
Who knew?
we represented like I think 27 different countries. I mean, you had people all over
Nice.
Europe and South America, and like all these people that are Cowboys fans everywhere that are like, I get to run a 5K now for the Cowboys, and so they did. So
That's
it
so
was
awesome.
that part was really cool. I mean, I think virtual people kind of get tired of the like at this point, no one wants to do a virtual anything. But with running, it's close to real as possible, because what it really is go run live and then report back virtually. And
Right.
so I think there's a little bit more of a connectedness to it, especially since within your household or your friends and family, you can go run with them, and it's at least close. So
Yeah.
we saw that, and the social media outreach on that was far and above like what we expected too, because people wanted to stay connected with their team too, which they're waiting to see what the season's going to look like for the football.
Yeah. No kidding. So I'm just out of curiosity, though, like when in the past when you had this event where it was actually live, like how many participants did you usually have?
We'd have a couple thousand. We'd have a
Okay,
couple
but
thousand runners, and
from a
then
couple thousand to like 11,000, just
yeah,
because
yeah,
of the shift
it
to
was
virtual.
quite amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
and not all of those are paid entries. I mean, we had a paid component. I mean, I think
Yeah.
part of this time is you have to be, aware of like what people's needs are. So
Yeah.
most of those were free entries, but even with it being free, it means they were participating.
Yeah.
And for us, that long term, that bodes well for what the actual live event looks like in 2021.
Yeah.
I would imagine that we're going to increase our participation substantially.
So, Jamie, if people would like to start their own virtual event with you, if there's another company out there listening to this, or if they even want to get involved in some of these virtual running events that you're doing, what is a good way to contact you guys?
Uh, just go to our website. It's probably the easiest way, easydaysports.com. So pretty
Okay.
easy to remember.
Yeah.
And it sort of lists our calendar of events, the projects that we're working on. The gentleman that reached out to me from the zoo just found our contact form and emailed me, and I called him right back. So that's the easiest way, and you can see and participating too. You can click on any one of our events. we're right now planning a 4th of July run in Coronado, where we're based out of, which we're sort of looking into how do we make it sort of a part virtual, part live event where people run the actual course that the race happened on, but just not in a mass gathering way. So we're trying to do as many creative things as we can. But if you go to easydaysports.com, you'll see all the cool events that we're doing, and encourage you to participate. At least it allows you to put something on your schedule, because we know we all have time. Especially now.
So true. So true. Well, Jamie, I just want to honor you for being here today, and I really appreciate you talking about your business and how you're finding solutions during this time, just to provide some hope, just not only to runners, but maybe even other business owners that have events that are event coordinators like yourself. So thank you so much. And again, that's if you need to get a hold of Jamie, that's easydaysports.com. I'm KristaDoesNumbers on IQ Podcast in the Attorney King Studio. Have a blessed day, everyone.